All right, guys. Welcome. Welcome back. If you were here overnight, essentially, what is going on now? We are we are back reporting on the situation in Taiwan. I have an hour of sleep. I have an hour of sleep, and I've been watching this all night. And I actually meant to go live like 30 minutes ago, but then I found a wasp in my room, so I had to deal with that. I'm gonna blame the Chinese. Chinese government sent that to me. You ever played The Simpsons Hit and Run? Kind of reminded me of that. Like literally, like I'm talking shit about the Chinese, and then a fucking wasp pops up in my room. They sent it. So got myself a coffee right now, a little Starbucks Frappuccino, and we are gonna discuss the reaction to China of China. We're going to discuss the reaction of China in response to Pelosi landing in Taiwan. So about an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago, Nancy Pelosi officially landed in Taiwan. Now, this is the first time that a Speaker of the House of the United States of America has landed or even stepped foot in Taiwan in 25 years. The last time that this happened was in 1997, in which Newt Gingrich visited Taiwan shortly after the Taiwanese presidential elections, in which they elected their first democratically elected government. And as well, they had something called the Taiwan Strait Crisis. The Taiwan Strait Crisis was a situation in which, during the 1996 presidential election in Taiwan, there was a candidate from the Kuomintang Party, and the KMT elected this candidate that was an alma mater in the United States, and the United States officially invited him to the United States. Like Congress actually came in and adopted a resolution to invite him officially to say, "Hey, we support you coming here. We know you want to come here. Go ahead and come here." And then so, in order to stop that candidate from winning the election, the Chinese government intimidated Taiwan with a series of ballistic missile tests that landed in the sea off the coast of Taiwan. What we are seeing now in response to this, Nancy Pelosi being the first representative, high level government official of the United States, visiting Taiwan in 25 years, as well as being the most vocal China hawk in the United States Congress since the Tiananmen Square massacre. Pelosi has somewhat ignited a firestorm, a diplomatic incident, or even possibly the fourth Taiwan Strait crisis, because in response, the Chinese government has officially said we are doing military exercises off the coast of Taiwan, and that the PLA is not afraid to fight for defending sovereignty and security. So China is very much on the defensive right now, and it is a matter of how strong of a response are we going to get from them? Are we going to get a couple of words? Are we going to get ballistic missile tests? Are we going to be getting military exercises off the coast of Taiwan, which we are already seeing? We already saw being announced. So it won't extend into a world war. I'm not worried that this will turn into a world war. Now, is it a possibility that this could expand into some sort of regional conflict between the United States and China? Yes. Yes, it is. However, um, any sort of scenario in which China attacks Taiwan violently without provocation, or the United States violently without provocation, or even attacking Nancy Pelosi personally will invoke Article 5 of NATO. Now, Taiwan is not a part of NATO, and we won't be seeing any sort of attack against Taiwan will not invoke Article 5. However, any attack against the United States could enact Article 5 of NATO. So it's a matter of how strong of a response could we be looking at here? So I'm going to be watching this closely. I'm also looking at Twitter right now. We're watching the, so we actually see, I'll actually pull this up for you guys. So the PLA will conduct important military exercises and training activities, including 5 live fire drills in 6 regions surrounding Taiwan Island from Thursday to Sunday. So today is Tuesday, so they will be conducting them tomorrow. So we do see that they are just off the coast of Taiwan, right in the south, up here north of Taipei. They have 2 regions right here, right in the middle of the Taiwan Strait. They're doing military exercises, and all the way out into the Pacific, in which there is actually, this is actually way closer to Japan. And these regions are actually much closer to disputed islands with Japan. So maybe we could be seeing some sort of response from the Japanese very soon. But there are U.S. carriers in the region in this area right here. So could we be seeing the Chinese and Americans just staring at each other? It's just a matter of what we will see. The Hong Kong Special Administrative Region government firmly opposes the visit of Pelosi to Taiwan Island and fully supports and cooperates with the central government in taking countermeasures to safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity. And if the United States insists on following the wrong course of action, then it should be responsible for any serious consequence arising thereof. There's just a lot of strong wording happening right now. America 5 seconds after China shoots down. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's basically it. Basically be like igniting a firestorm in that kind of scenario. We also do see that this is some pictures that we are seeing of military equipment being moved in Xiamen. Xiamen is the largest city across the strait from Taiwan. And China has also vowed military actions in response to Pelosi's Taiwan visit. The United States and Taiwan have made provocation together first, whereas China has been compelled to act in self-defense. Any countermeasure will be taken by China would be a justified and necessary response to the U.S. oblivion to China's repeated demarches and U.S.'s unscrupulous behavior. PG, how you doing? I am running on 1 hour of sleep, so I'm only going to be streaming for maybe like an hour or something like that, depending on what happens. And then I'm gonna go take a nap or something like that. Because really it's nighttime over there. We really won't see that much action take place until this evening, because especially in the dawn, we could see some sort of military action take place. Whenever I say military action, I am not talking about war. I'm not talking about any sort of Russia-Ukraine situation. However, we do have the possibility of ballistic missile tests, of some sort of strong military response to this visit by Nancy Pelosi. It would be a message both toward the Taiwanese and toward the United States saying, we will not stand for this. So it is a matter right now of, again, how strong of a response are we going to see? Must take credible actions to observe strictly the One China principle and the provisions of the 3 China-U.S. joint communiques and should not go further down the wrong and dangerous path. In disregard of China's strong opposition, U.S. House of Representatives, Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, speeches of China's Taiwan region. China firmly opposes and sternly condemns this and has serious demarche. Okay, I already read these. China closes airspace above Taiwan Strait to all civilian aircraft. So let me actually look at Taiwanese airspace. Flight tracker. Need to see what's going on over the Taiwan Strait. Yeah. There's now no plane currently over the Taiwan Strait. So if we actually look, there usually was actually two corridors. It was like right here and right here, in which these planes would be flying from Taiwan to China. And now, what is this one doing? This is China Airlines. We're going from Taipei to Los Angeles, so it's actually not going to go over the strait. So they were actually making cancellations earlier when earlier this morning. They were actually making cancellations, and you could literally see that they were canceling all these flights. So now the Taiwan Strait is completely empty. So something is going to be happening in the Taiwan Strait. Maybe some sort of military operations. There are already Chinese jets that are crossing the line, the median line right now. Can you be a democratic socialist that supports Taiwan? I am. What does that mean? And then, so Pelosi is there with Lloyd Austin, Secretary of Defense. And she was immediately met, and I actually watched this happen. I watched her plane land. And whenever it showed the Taiwanese delegation, I actually recognized him. So this was Pelosi's comment on the situation. She said, "Our delegation's visit to Taiwan honors America's unwavering commitment to supporting Taiwan's vibrant democracy. Our discussions with Taiwan leadership reaffirm our support for our partner and promote our shared interests, including advancing free and open Indo-Pacific region." And then so it was the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan. I can't remember his name, but I remember his face. And so the Minister of Foreign Affairs actually met Pelosi on the tarmac. And it looks like that's Lloyd Austin. No, I don't think that's Lloyd Austin. That's Mark Takano is there. There's Raja and Andy Kim. What about Gregory Meeks? Okay, that's Gregory Meeks. He almost looks exactly like in that picture. He almost looks like Lloyd Austin. I got that confused. Does this mean if it happens we are going to war? What happens? Again, the chances of us going into war right now are very little, but this does escalate the tension between the United States and China. This isn't just some small thing. This isn't just some situation where it's just like, oh, fine and dandy, whatever. This is the most serious situation that has happened between the United States and China since the last Taiwan Strait crisis. So this is big. This is This is a major situation happening. And that's why I keep saying the next 24 hours will be the most critical of this decade, because this will decide how US Taiwan China relations will affect the rest of the decade. If the Chinese start launching missiles into the Taiwan Straits, if they start launching missile attacks, or if there is just some sort of strong military response, then we will be looking at a very dark couple of years ahead, especially in the realm of geopolitics. So it is it is a very contentious time right now, and the next 24 hours will be important. China's countermeasures against Pelosi's Taiwan visit won't be one off. Global Times editorial. On Tuesday night, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sneakily landed in China's Taiwan island like a thief, detonating the mine she has thrown over the situation in the Taiwan Straits and U.S. China ties. China has repeatedly warned on how egregious the nature of this visit and how serious the consequences would be. But Pelosi turned a deaf ear. Neither did Washington take effective measures to stop it, which triggered a new round of tension and severe challenges across the straits. This time, the whole world has been seen. It's seen clearly who is changing the status quo in the Taiwan Straits, who provoked first, and who is undermining cross-strait ties, peace, and stability. It is a great irony that to see that these 3 points have been exactly the U.S. and Western public opinion's target of attacks against China for some time. The DPP authorities have taken the chance to make itself the victim and play the pity card. All of a sudden, the international public opinion concerning Taiwan was stirred into pandemonium. Pelosi's stupid, reckless, dangerous, provocative actions welded the entire responsibility for undermining peace and stability across the Taiwan Straits to the United States and DPP. This new escalation of collusion between U.S. and Taiwan Island, a serious and destructive change to the status quo in the Taiwan Straits, and it's also betrayal of the U.S. serious political commitment to China. In addition to violating the One China principle and the three communiques between China and the United States, the visit also violates United Nations Resolution 2758. Some politicians in the United States use the so-called separation of powers as the guise to try and shirk responsibility. Their argument doesn't hold water at all. Kind of does, because again, it's a completely different branch of government. Can't really control it. And even if it was, then that would be a serious violation of our constitution, I believe. Um, any independent sovereign country will never allow external interfering forces and international internal separatist forces to jointly conspire to undermine its sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity. You know, it's funny. I literally watched the ambassador to the United States from the PRC speak on CNN a couple like a 30 minutes an hour ago. And it was so funny how many times within like the 5 minute interview that he had, how many times he kept saying sovereignty and territorial integrity. China loves to pull this and just say they're violating our sovereignty and territorial integrity as if, because they're really trying to reiterate how Taiwan is a part of China, even though it's not. So, China, if you're listening, stop it. You're stupid. Winnie the Pooh sucks. And Taiwan is an independent country. They always have been since 1949. You lost, you won mainland China, but you never solved that Taiwan question, and you never will, because the United States has backed Taiwan and always will. First of all, the great risk of Pelosi created must backfire on herself. In other words, we should create the risk of Pelosi's Taiwan visit to significantly increase the cost of her political performance and enhance the price she has to pay. We should also make people like Pelosi understand that Taiwan is not a place where they can visit at will. The route of the plane Pelosi took on Tuesday showed that the aircraft circled around the South China Sea in apparent fear of the PLA conducting live fire exercises in irrelevant waters. China's military deterrence actions have made Pelosi feel the danger. Second, China's countermeasures will not be one off, but a combination of long term, resolute, and steady advancing actions. Just as Pelosi was on her way to Taiwan, the PLA Air Force has sent its Su 35 fighters, Across the Taiwan Straits, PLA's Eastern Theater Command will hold joint military operations around the Taiwan Island with joint maritime and air drills in the north, southwest, and southeast island, long-range artillery shooting in Taiwan Straits, and conventional missile test firing in sea regions east of the island starting Tuesday night. So, just as I said, there will be some sort of ballistic missile firing in the next day. So, tonight, so it's Tuesday over there. No. Tuesday night. So, yeah. So, Tuesday night. So, around now, we should be probably hearing some sort of news that the Chinese are firing ballistic missiles. I'm very, very certain that there will be some sort of ballistic missile tests. From the de facto breaking of the median line with the Taiwan Straits to the PLA's regular patrols in Taiwan Southeast quote airspace and full circle flights around the island, to the clear emphasis that the Taiwan Straits are not international waters. Say that to the United States Navy. Third, China's countermeasure is fundamentally aimed to promote the process of national unification, the time and momentum, and to achieve the reunification of the motherland, always firmly in our hands, no matter what form they take to support Taiwan and contain the motherland, the mainland. Forces like Pelosi cannot change the historical and legal fact that Taiwan belongs to China, nor can they hinder the trend of China realizing full reunification. It should be noted that every step external forces, such as the United States and TPP forces, to take to upgrade their collusion and provocations, the faster China will realize the full reunification. Like the political god of plague, Pelosi didn't do anything good to the region except bring risk and tensions to Taiwan. Some media in Taiwan have revealed that TPP authorities have secretly withdrawn its invitation to Pelosi, but they had to continue to arrange the reception under the censure of the U.S. politician. This piece of news is quite intriguing, as it vividly demonstrates the TPP authorities' low and shady mentality and Pelosi's peremptory and selfish attitude toward Taiwan. It is a true microcosm the relationship between the U.S. and Taiwan. It is also a disgrace and sorrow which the unification of the two sides of the Taiwan Straits will put to a complete end. So it is. It is very tense. Um, and I like that last part. I'm pretty sure all of that is a lie. Literally just trying because even whenever Pelosi was leaving for whenever Pelosi was leaving for Asia, they like Taiwan even came out and said like we are seeking closer military ties with the United States. And even Russia is coming out and calling the trip provocative, very provocative. So, I mean, I can again. I really have my own opinions about uh, Nancy Pelosi. You know, I don't like her as a politician. However, as a in foreign policy, She is absolutely the best person to do this. She has been a hawk for this ever since she's been in office. She has been very adamant about what's been going on in China. She literally held up a sign that said, "This is for the kids that died here," and then got chased off the square. She is the worst person to do this in China's eyes. That's what makes it so great. Do you oppose the one China policy? Yes. I think the one China policy is just some stupid bullshit that China peddles to make themselves look more legitimate. They're not legitimate. I'm not sitting here saying that Taiwan, like, it's not about, like, at this point that we're in right now, it's not about who is the true China. Even though that in some realms, I think even in the Taiwanese constitution, it still says it still says, that we are the one China. So, but I mean, even in the eyes of Tsai Ing-wen, the president of China, it's not about um, it's not about what. I'm really tired. I need to end the stream soon so I can take a nap, like an actual nap. Um, but at this point, in the eyes of the DPP, in the eyes of Tsai Ing-wen, it's not about how uh we're the one China, because obviously if Taiwan were to launch an invasion of China, they'd lose. They can't unify China under their own flag. So the best that they can do is to act independent themselves and just govern their own country. It's their country. They have their own land, they have their own territory, they have their own government, they have their own institutions. So instead of, arguing about it like the Vietnams did, like the Koreas do, instead of doing that, they're just like, okay, fine. We're not gonna really drop it, but we're just gonna kind of like go with our own way. So, and then China, for one, wants more land, and then two, because whoa, well, yeah, the Chinese used to have that land for hundreds of years, but they had a civil war. They lost that territory during the civil war. So that's that's a part of losing. It's just China doesn't want to admit that they lost. So it's it's very complicated. It's very tense. The United States does not even recognize Taiwan. It's yeah, you don't have to recognize Taiwan to admit that they're an actual country. In response to a tweet saying nothing happened, China's ambassador in Pakistan says wait and see. You legally do. What do you mean? So with the so let me look. Ouch. So the PLA exercises that are taking place that I showed you guys on Twitter says so 1, 2, 3 of these exercises will take place within Taiwanese waters, like actual territorial waters. So looking, it's not about what China's thinking, it's about what they're doing. So 3 of these exercises are going to be taking place in actual Taiwanese waters. It says not only is it inherently escalatory and deliberately engaging in brinksmanship, it also forces other states into acting that way. The U.S. must make clear that Chinese live fire into Taiwan's territory will not be accepted, even by placing naval assets in territorial waters beyond Taiwan's territorial waters. China published maps showing they plan to conduct military operations within China's territorial waters. This is as close as you can get without landing on the beaches. It's completely unacceptable. So I'll actually show you guys. Get this as big as possible. So the red ones are exactly where uh, the red ones are where the 2022 live fire exercises are going to be happening. So you can see this one takes place all the way up into their internal territorial waters. Right in it is the closest that you can get. Right up here, also the same thing, that you can actually see how close they will be to Taipei. And then as well right here, they are in Taiwanese waters. This one and this one in the south, one in the north, one in the south, take place within their internal territorial waters. One one of them up in the north west or northeast. You can actually see this one takes place in their territorial waters, but not their internal waters. So it's and then right here, so these lighter boxes, these are where the exercises for the live fire exercises from the third Taiwan Strait crisis took place. So right here, right in the middle of the strait, right over here, and right over here, kind of right where Taiwanese waters were. That was from the third Taiwan Strait crisis. And then the red ones are from the fourth, which is the current one. Taiwanese Ministry of Defense just reported that 21 PLA aircraft entered their ADIZ. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Ministry of Defense. Yeah, I'm already following them. What is it? 7 minutes ago. 21 PLA aircraft entered Taiwan's southwest ADIZ. J11s, J16s, Y9s, and Y8s. Not too, nothing too interesting, I guess. This is the line that apparently the Chinese were crossing earlier. Let me actually see if there's anything about it. So it's the same flight path that they've been doing over the last couple of days. So one of them came down from here, kind of went back, and then a bunch of them came in from the south, and then kind of did the. Well, that's God, that is crazy. What time are they saying these are supposed to hit? I don't know. Saw this going on and said I got to see what Politics Gaming has to say. Yes, come and watch what Politics Gaming has to say on the fourth Taiwan Strait crisis. World War III is trending on Twitter. Of course it is. Of course it is. World War III. Let me look. Some of the memes are just funny. Yeah, that's the thing about it is like it's just the same flight path, so it's nothing real big. China is saying that their fighter planes crossed, so they did technically cross the line by a little bit, but um, I was expecting something kind of like this. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're not doing anything like more serious, I guess. But I mean, again, I could be wrong, and there probably might be a couple of ballistic. That's seriously what I am expecting. So don't be surprised. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be surprised because it's actually happening. But that again, that's the biggest thing that you should probably expect is that there will be some sort of missiles being fired. They're going to be fired into the sea. Depends on how far into the sea these missiles land, because that's exactly how it prompted. So, but that's the biggest thing about this is that will the United States Navy transit the Taiwan Strait in a show of force? Maybe we're getting our carriers together right now. Let me see how that happened in the third one. Run up to 96 U.S. military response. The U.S. government responded by staging the biggest display of military might in Asia since the Vietnam War, July 1995. The Belleau Wood transited the Taiwan Strait, followed by the USS O'Brien and USS McCluskey. Finally, on December 19th, the USS Nimitz and her battle group passed through the straits. President Clinton ordered additional ships into the region in 1996. Two carrier battle groups, Carrier Group 5, centered on the USS Independence, and Carrier Group 7, centered on a Nimitz, were present in the region, as well as the amphibious assault ship Belleau Wood. The Nimitz and her battle group in the Belleau Wood sailed through the Taiwan Strait, while the Independence did not. The crisis forced the Chinese leadership in 1996 to acknowledge its inability to stop U.S. forces from coming into Taiwan's assistance. Um, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it for right now. Been really tired. If anything major develops, you'll definitely see me live. I'll probably try to go live again one more time tonight, depending on what happens, what kind of developments happen. If there are any ballistic missile tests, if there are any major escalations in the conflict, as of right now, in the or I won't say conflict, I'll say crisis. If there are many major escalations in this crisis right now, I am dubbing it the fourth Taiwan Strait crisis. I believe that is what we are in the midst of. It's going to take some time before a lot of the political scientists and geopolitical analysts start to really call it the fourth Taiwan Strait crisis. But China is already calling it the fourth Taiwan Strait crisis. So I'll probably see you guys tonight if there are any major escalations. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Do you have a PG Instagram? No, I have a Twitter. I do focus on geopolitics there as well. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. It is the same thing. It is PoliticsGaming. And subscribe to the channel, of course. So again, if there are any major escalations tonight, I will definitely be watching because that is what China is saying, that there will be military exercises taking place tonight. So probably right now they're doing something. It's just taking time before they even do it. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna get some energy back, and then so whenever I go live again tonight, I will be able to go on for a little bit longer than I am right now. So guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.